What's up guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a very long time since I last uploaded, but I've just been super busy with life and other things and also racing in the background. But I have been making some progress to my cars in the workshop over the past couple of months. So over the next couple of videos, I will be getting you guys back up to speed with what I've been up to. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoy today's video. This is my new to me Mitsubishi CE Lancer that I picked up for $1,500. But I didn't just pick up this car, I also picked up another one. Now you might be asking, why on earth do I own two CE Lancers? Well, I have a very good reason. So first I got this blue one off Facebook Marketplace for $1,500, and I got it because I absolutely love this blue. It is French blue, T10 I believe the paint code is, and it is a gorgeous blue. It looks really cool. But then I saw another one pop up from Facebook Marketplace, which was this black one right here. And this one caught my eye when I swiped through the photos and I saw it actually has black interior. It was some special edition model that came out, I think it was like an all black theme, and it looked really cool compared to the stock sort of grayish interior that most of the CE Lancers come with. And as you all know, Evos come with black interior, so I got this to eventually swap the interior out of that into my blue one. But that will be in a future video though, so stay tuned for that. So with that all explained, let me show you around the blue CE Lancer. This is the one that I'm going to keep and build on the channel into a fake Evo. So I've got a lot of plans for this. I'm collecting a hell of a lot of parts in the background, and it's going to be a really cool build. But for starters, with the exterior, obviously the lighting is really good right now because it's in the shade. It looks really good. I mean, it's not perfect. It does have quite a few dents around it, but the paint overall is not too bad at all. Probably the worst part about it is the roof. Unfortunately, we've got these dents on the roof here, which I'm gonna have to work out how to get out. And also the paint is not great. It's got all these little rust spots. I think this has been repainted before and it wasn't done very well. And maybe some of my bird poop has landed and gone through the paint. I'm not really too sure, but yeah, this car was awfully dirty when I got it. It looks way better after I've cleaned it up. But going around the car, it is in really good condition. Like, there's no major dings in it. There is a little bit of a weird panel gap here. For some reason, there's a little gap here in the boot, which I'm not really too sure why. But there's also a bit of a weird gap with the bumper here, which maybe it's just sagging a bit. And maybe the boot isn't quite aligned, but the weird thing is that like up here it's aligned, but then it's a big gap here. So not really too sure what's going on there. But overall, the exterior is pretty good. I'd probably give it maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. I'm pretty fussy with my paint, so that's a pretty high number for what it is. I also forgot to mention that this is actually a VRX car. So you might have noticed that it's got a bit of a body kit on it. It's got a front splitter, some side skirts, and some rear spats and a wing. So this came on some of the VRX cars from the factory from Mitsubishi. And the other thing that you can tell as well is they come with this white background gauge cluster. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, moving on to interior, it's not in bad condition. These are a bit flappy, but they all are. I've seen a lot of cars with these completely missing, so it's actually got all of them in there. But like I said before, we're going to be swapping the interior out of that car into this. So the interior doesn't really matter right now because this will all go into that car once I've swapped this into here. But yeah, the interior is not too bad. The wheel isn't in great condition. That's why I have left this on, because all up here is just falling apart. The other thing as well is the carpet under here is not great either. So yeah, the interior isn't too great. So I'd probably give this like a 5 to 4 out of 10. It could be worse. There's no cracks in the dash. The gauges all work. Oh, one thing I really hate is the shift knob. It just spins and you can just literally take it off. And the other thing too, because it gets so hot in summer, this thing burns your hand, especially when it's sitting outside in the heat, because it gets so hot here in Australia. This freaking kills to touch. In the back is not too bad either. The seats are pretty clean. I have given this a little bit of a quick clean. But yeah, same thing. The fabric's falling off the door cards, but other than that, it's in pretty solid condition. Now moving to underneath the engine bay. Now first thing to note, this car has done just over 300,000 kilometers, so keep that in mind. But it is actually super tidy in here. It is really, really clean. There's no rust. Like the silver car had a little bit of rust on top of the strut tower here, but there's no rust anywhere. The paint is actually in really good condition in here, because I was worried that I might have to repaint the engine bay, but I think this one is good enough where I can live with it. So we've got the 1.8 litre 4G93 motor, so the bigger engine that comes in these cars. The other one is the 4G15 motor, which is a 1.5 litre, where this is the 4G93 with the big block 1.8 litre. The other really good thing with this car as well is the gearbox shifts really, really smoothly, which my silver one was a little notchy, especially trying to go into second, where this gearbox is absolutely mint. So hopefully that can stay that way, because I don't want to blow up that gearbox. But yeah, other than that, completely all stock, nothing really interesting, but that will change in the future. Now plans with this car, it's the same as what I was going to do with that Silver Lancer, is make it into a mini Fevo. So I'm going to get a body kit for it, which I'm actually collecting a lot of parts in the background for. I'll be upgrading the interior and pulling the black interior out of the black Lancer into this to make it look like an Evo. I'll be upgrading the suspension, the brakes, and lastly I'm going to add a turbocharger onto this engine and sort of build an engine for it so I can handle as much power as I can throw at it. But before we do all that, I want to take this car in its completely stock form, take it to the track and get a baseline and see exactly what this car can do. So what I've done is I've given this car a complete service. I have changed all the fluids, all the filters, made sure nothing was worn out in the suspension. I installed some lowering springs because that black Lancer behind me actually came with some King springs. So I put that in the car. I also installed some camber bolts just to get a little bit more negative camber out of the front. So the alignment specs that I chose for our starting point is about 2 degrees of camber on the front, 0 degrees of camber in the rear because unfortunately it's not adjustable in these. On the front, it's got 2 millimeters of toe out on each side, and in the rear it's got 1 millimeter of toe out each side as well. But I did run into a bit of an issue in getting off the left rear wheel because I went to go bleed the brakes, which obviously you have to take off your wheels. And unfortunately, one of the wheel nuts was completely stuck. And it was so bad that it just started actually spinning the stud and it would not come out. It was a very long night, so I'll cut to the footage that next morning. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. And man, I spent all night, I even got my dad down to help me get that stuck wheel nut off. We basically, essentially what we had to do is bash through this center cap so we can undo the big nut that holds the hub on. Then we just pulled the whole assembly off and then we drilled from the back and and angle grinded and managed to get it off. So the wheel's a little bit hacked up, but it looks fine. The car is here. I was up to like 2:30 a.m. last night trying to get this thing ready. So, but it's here, about to go out for my first session. I'm really excited to see how it feels. Yeah, a little bit tired, a little bit sleepy today, but the adrenaline's kicking in. I'm excited. So let's see what it does. Alrighty guys, let's go test her out. Running late as usual. Oh. Alright, put the data logger on, get the camera on. Let's go have some fun. Alrighty. See how she feels. not too bad. We were 7/10 up there. I don't know if you guys can see the data logger down there, but we were 7/10 up. But the pads are fucked. Man, we need better brakes in this thing. Hello, it's Jaden from the future again. I must admit, I didn't do the best job of filming on that day. Me and my dad were just kind of going out there and having a blast, but the car did exceptionally well for what it is, pretty much a bone stock CE Lancer. It performed extremely well. The fastest time I managed to get throughout the day was a 32.5, which is actually pretty respectable, so I'll play that lap right now. Start so far. Wasn't quite right in there. Through there. Seriously quick. I mean, like, not seriously quick, but like, I mean, like, some of the XL guys can't even get into a 32, so, oh man. And that's with a fair bit of fuel too. I don't know if you can see the gauges, but we've got like 3/4. I mean, I think the fuel gauge is kind of going up and down, but set the AC on. Holy shit. And so after that, the brakes were getting pretty bad because since they were just stock pads, we had to keep cooling them down, and they were just not lasting. So me and my dad, we went out, had a little bit of fun. We took each other for laps around the track since it was a passenger day. A little too much curb. I wanted to try a little bit more curb, but it's a little too much. Yeah, too much curb. But yeah, we had an absolute blast, and the Lancer held up really well. Now the brakes did pretty much disintegrate to absolutely nothing. The pads got so bad that they managed to weld themselves to the pistons, which I've never seen that happen before, so that was pretty bad. But other than that, the Lancer held up really well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.